I've seen a lot of people in the comments lately saying, well, farmers voted for Trump. They're getting exactly what they deserve. Now, I'm not a farmer, and I certainly didn't vote for Trump. That being said, I do get where this frustration comes from, but I'm going to tell you right now, that's exactly what people in power want. They want you to look sideways, not upward. They want working class folks, farmers, truckers, waitresses, teachers, to be at each other's throats instead of realizing we're all getting squeezed by the same system. See, when the working class fights among itself, the billionaires and lobbyists win. It's the oldest trick in the book. The ruling class knows it's cheaper to divide us than to pay us. They don't care if it's red hat versus blue hat, rural versus urban, union versus non-union, as long as we're not pointing fingers at the ones actually writing the rules. And while we're busy arguing over who deserves it, corporate monopolies are buying up farmland, grocery chains, seed companies, and meat packers. So whether you raise beef or buy it at the store, you're paying tribute to the same corporations. You want to blame somebody? Start with the cowardly media that refuses to call a lie a lie. They'll spend hours both sidesing something that's provably false because they're terrified of losing ad money from the same corporations that profit off of division. Meanwhile, rural America has been left in an information drought. Local papers died, the radio stations got bought out, and what's left is corporate propaganda. When the only voices you hear are shouting fear, you can't be surprised when people vote out of fear. And let's talk about the politicians, the ones who sold their souls for a tiny amount of power. They don't care about farmers, workers, or small-town America. They care about staying on TV and staying in office. They'll wrap themselves in a flag, kiss a Bible, and tell you a story about hardworking Americans while voting to gut every program that actually helps us. And the media, they'll cover it just like it's another debate rather than a betrayal. How about non-voters? They are as much to blame as Trump voters. 36% of eligible voters were selfish enough that they didn't vote at all. The reason? Because they don't believe voting has an immediate impact on their personal well-being. That's not rebellion, that's surrender. Silence is a vote for the status quo. And every time a working class person checks out, a billionaire checks in. You can't win a fight without even showing up. We started Rough Cut Media Network specifically to reach misinformed or underinformed folks who would really like to do the right thing. And with your help, it's been working. This channel is just a few weeks old, and we've already reached hundreds of thousands of people and have received dozens of messages from Trump voters willing to admit they made a mistake. This is working. This is progress. Thank you all sincerely. So no, I'm not blaming farmers. I'm blaming the system that lied to them. I'm blaming the politicians who exploit them. I'm blaming the billionaires who profit off of them. And I'm blaming the media that pretends not to see it. Because the truth is, the rich have class solidarity. They'll fight like hell for each other. It's time the working class did the same. Stop fighting your neighbor. Start fighting your greedy politicians, your upper management at work, and your corporations writing the laws. Because if we ever stop arguing long enough to stand together, they know they're outnumbered, and that's what really scares them. Rough Cut Media, more boots, less suits. We'll see you next time.